Alright, let's take a look at the Rainstorm Cup, which is the new Devon format starting on the 1st of April. My name's Fish from Pallet Town PvP, and in these 6-minute breakdown videos, we take a look at the basics of any new meta for Go Battle League and Devon Cup, where you can kind of get the ball rolling to do your own research on top of that. Now, this is just your basic breakdown. If you want a complete breakdown where we do all the thinking for you, we live stream a chat. This is myself and World Championship qualifier Lyle Jeffs. We live stream these on this YouTube channel, Pallet Town PvP. If you want to check out the video for this meta, we'll chuck a link in the description of this video, or you can click here. And if you want to join us for future live streams, we highly encourage it. Whenever we have one scheduled, we put it in the Pallet Town PvP channel under the upcoming streams section. Just click notify me on the stream that you want to join in on, and you'll get a notification whenever we go live on that stream. And the input that we get from you, the viewer, really helps drive that conversation and that research, and it becomes super informative. Like, I can't even wrap my head around a meta until we do that complete breakdown stream, so I encourage you to join us for that. In the meantime, let's take a look at the basics of the meta, and with the typings that are allowed and the associated bans, Empoleon sits here at the top of the meta. It is very safe and very reliable, and I expect pretty much every team to have one. There is only one thing in the meta that, like, Empoleon has play against everything. There is one thing in the meta that it fears, and that is all the way down here at number 10 in the Shadow Quagsire, and the regular Quagsire as well, but particularly Shadow. With its Mud Bomb and Stone Edge combination, it can hit a lot of the meta for super effective damage. The Mud Bomb, of course, beating the Empoleon and neutral damage against a lot of things, and then Stone Edge hitting your ices and your flyers in particular. Now, before I get to the ices and the flyers, I will talk about Guzzlord as well, which is a surprisingly good pair with Empoleon. Even though they're both weak to fighting, there's really not much fighting damage going around. There are only two things in the meta that can beat both, and they are Pelipper, which is bait dependent anyway, and Staraptor, which is not going to be, you're not going to see a Staraptor in the meta. So really take a look at those two as a pair. So then you've got, like I said, the ices and the flyers. There are three ice type Pokemon worth considering. Walrein and Dugong are very similar to each other. I'm leaning towards Walrein. Obviously the Dugong does have that icy wind, which can really flip a lot of clutch battles for you. The Walrein with its Earthquake can one-shot the Empoleon, which Drill Run can't exactly do, and I think the Walrein does have the edge a little bit over Dugong as well. You've got Celio, which doesn't have as much in the way of ice-type damage, which is going to be very important. Like, there's a lot of things that are weak to ice in this meta, but it does beat the Walrein and the Dugong, which is very much worth considering. Then you've got your, what did I say, the ice and the, oh shoot, the rock, the flying, that's it. Let's flying. And with flying, there's actually a lot of versatility. Like, there's a lot of different ways you can go with your flyer or flyers in your teams. You got Mandibuzz, you got Pelipper, Altaria, Tropius, Dragonite, Rufflet, even Gyarados we took a look at and we really liked. And then even further down you've got Jumpluff, Gligar. Shadow Gligar is actually a lot better than what the ranking here suggests, and also Charizard as well is worth considering. So you can actually go pretty far down the list. Someone else in the live stream was suggesting Bombardier. We had another person suggesting Vespiquen. Like, there's some stuff going on there. What else we've got? The grasses. And interestingly, with the grasses, it's so rare to see PvPoke recommending Razor Leaf when there are other options available on these Pokemon, but it's happening this time. They are a high risk, high reward kind of Pokemon, because there are so many things in the meta that can really hurt the grass types. You've got so many flyers that we talked about. We've got the Empoleon, which generally beats the grasses. We've got the ice types, the Walrein and the Dugong. They'll all struggle there. But in this meta, the water types are so good that it's very, very easy to have 3, 4, 5 water Pokemon on your team. And if you can line the Tropius up right, or the Shiftry up right, then you can actually end up causing a lot of damage against the opposing team. So, like, bring one at your own peril, but if you can line it up right, you can actually get some nice handy wins there. So, just to close out, we've got some other cheeky Pokemon worth taking a look at. We've got a Araquanid, which is fantastic for the Ice-type Pokemon, so your Walrein and your Dugong won't have anything against it. It will struggle, of course, against the Flying types and doesn't do particularly well against Empoleon. Will also beat your Dark types really well, so your Guzzlord and the next Pokemon that we'll talk about in Umbreon. Whoops, not Bumbreon, Umbreon. And also Alolan Raticate, which are very similar. Umbreon wins more with its bulk, whereas Raticate will win more with its offensive pressure, and is relatively bulky on its own. Raticate is a bit more bait dependent, which is why it's as high as it is, whereas Umbreon just, you know, snarl, foul play all the time. And then finally, worth taking a look at is Barbaracle, which, with its combination of Fury Cutter, Cross Drop, and Stone Edge, can hit practically everything viable in the meta for super effective damage. So I'm really liking that. Just don't get it locked in against a Tropius. So that's it for the meta. Chuck a comment in the description telling us what Pokemon you would like to see, what maybe something we might have missed, and may the leads be in your favor.